BookTube Nation, Sam here again with Barnhouse Books, and today I have for you my middle grade March wrap-up. So my family and I ended up getting a little sick last month. Nothing serious, just a cold, but it really kind of derailed my reading plans. But I am considering my schedule and everything going on. I finished 5.5 books for middle grade March plus 2 others. So I'm feeling really good about that. So we're just gonna go with it. I know some people read tons and some people are only able to get through 1. But, you know, whatever you're able to do is good. So I'm going to feel good about this. The first one I finished ended up being my favorite. This is Cinders Sparrow by Stefan Bachmann. And I loved this. I really enjoy fantastical children's classics like Alice in Wonderland, like Wizard of Oz. So I really felt those type of vibes in this. This is a book I would definitely reread in the future. It does have some kind of darker elements to it, but it's basically about a young orphan girl who receives a message, ironically, from a scarecrow. And so she decides to follow the message and do what it says, and she ends up going to this big sprawling old house, and there is some definite magic happening. This book to me was a lot about family, so check on the family prompt, but it was also about learning about yourself and growing, and not quite a coming of age story because there's not a lot of time that passes in this book, but those kind of feelings where people are really learning their character and fleshing themselves out and learning what they're capable of. And yeah, I really enjoyed this. If you enjoy fairy tale or children's classics, I would definitely give this one a read. Then I believe I finished the book of the Maidservant by Rebecca Barnhouse, and this was kind of a middle book for me, like a 3-star. I did enjoy a lot of the historical elements in it because I love historical fiction, and I was a political science major in school. I studied a lot of history when I was in college, so those types of things definitely do appeal to me. And this is based on a true story, and this is a definite journey book, so check on that prompt. Yeah, some of the elements in this book I felt were a little older than the age range that the book was written for. I felt like the writing was good for the age, but like I said, some of the elements were just a little bit older. And if my daughter was reading this at the appropriate age, I would be a little concerned with some of the things that are alluded to. There's nothing blatant, but there are some things alluded to that I would be concerned if I wasn't present and she was ingesting. So there's that. That's really for me kind of what knocked it down a little bit. The pacing was a little off, but I do like journey stories, and I did really enjoy the historical elements to this. This is basically about a young girl, and she gets sent on this pilgrimage with the woman that she's working for, and a lot of people start to kind of take advantage of her, and it's a very difficult journey. They're doing it on foot, of course, like the old pilgrimages, their religious pilgrimages were done, and she's just put through a lot, and a lot of people kind of either boss her around or ignore her. And you know, she's a servant, so that's to be expected given the time frame. But as a young girl, of course, being in a strange place, it's kind of difficult for her. So yeah, all in all, I did enjoy this one. If you really enjoy historical fiction, or if you're interested in books that take place during during the time when there were a lot of religious pilgrimages happening, I might recommend this. I don't know if this is one that I will reread in the future, but I did enjoy it. And you can see on the back the map of their journey. It is quite a beautiful book. There. Then I got kind of sucked down the rabbit hole. I had been in like a Sherlock kind of craving mood. I was craving like the shows and the movies, and I picked this up. And this is The Case of the Missing Marquess. This is by Nancy Springer, and it's an Enola Holmes mystery. They did make a Netflix movie about this, which is one of my favorite things to do, is to read the book and then watch the adaptation. And I really enjoyed this. I really liked the character of Enola. I liked how they portrayed her brothers. So this basically is about Sherlock's baby sister, and she's much younger, and her mother disappears, and then they want to, of course, send her away and take care of her, but she's not having any of that, and she goes on her own journey, and there's lots of mystery, and there's, of course, you know, a couple villains, and yeah, I really enjoyed this, and I definitely will continue with the series. Oh, and this is my book for Silhouette, because kitty. Yep, I'm counting that. So next I read book 2. This is The Case of the Left-Handed Lady by Nancy Springer. Yeah, still same thing. I enjoyed it. I liked the characters. I liked the story. I liked the pacing. These are a little younger, but they're so much fun. And I think if you enjoy any of like the Sherlock universe, I think that you might enjoy these if you like middle grade. They're fun, they're fast, and they're lovely mysteries, and I really enjoyed this one as well. This one is basically about a young woman who goes missing, and Enola, of course, decides she's going to try and figure out what happened. And it's all about, you know, how she goes about that and how she's trying to protect her identity from her brothers and trying to still find her mom. And yeah, it's lovely and delightful, and I highly recommend these. Okay, I'm also still reading. I'm about halfway through this one. This is Dragon Pearl by Yoon Lee. Okay, the pacing in this one I think is what's messing with me, because I'm really enjoying the character. I'm enjoying the setting. This isn't one that's like gripping me. I read a little bit, and then I'm like, I can read some other things and it'll be fine. So I do definitely want to finish this one. This is about a young girl who goes in search of her brother. Her brother was in space, and her brother was working for like the space military program, and he went AWOL, and she doesn't believe that that's all that happened. She thinks that there's more to the story. So she goes on a mission to find him and gets into all kinds of situations. Yeah, like I said, I am enjoying the story. I'm enjoying the characters, but I think the pacing's a little wonky for me. So we'll see how I go when I finish it. But like I said, I'm about 50% of the way through, give or take. And yeah, I do want to finish it, but that's this one. This was going to be my folklore book, but I didn't finish it. But you know, the folklore, fairy tale, fantasy prompt, that was this one, because it definitely does have a lot of like Korean folktale and that kind of inspiration in it. Yeah, so we'll see how it goes. Okay, and on the final night, I got in like a Newbery, I wanted to read a Newbery book. So on my phone, I ended up reading Sounder by William H. Armstrong. And okay, so I really enjoyed the book, and I can understand why it's a Newbery book. However, nowadays, I think it might be a little harsh for kids for that age group. There is some definite animal cruelty in the book, not to mention severe racism, but I think that's the point, because it's based on the author, I believe, knew someone who it was based on. Don't quote me on that, but I think that's where the story comes from. But yeah, I mean, just for the animal cruelty alone nowadays, I don't know that I would want my little one reading that at that age. Like, it was kind of harsh and very descriptive. So I enjoyed it. I can appreciate it for like its literary merit. I would definitely read if the author had other books. I would definitely read those. I thought the writing style was very profound and very affecting. But yeah, I just it was a hard book to read. It hit a lot of serious topics and a lot of things that made me really sad and really angry and kind of defensive for the main character. And so like I said, it's definitely a book that affected me. It's definitely a good read. And I think that books like that are books that we should read. We shouldn't just read things that make us feel good all the time, things that make us think or make us uncomfortable. I think that's important. But I don't know that I would hand that book to like a 10-year-old and be like, here, read this. Yeah, I just, tough one. So that was my final book of middle grade March. Anyway, those are all the books I read. I hope that if you are participating, you had a wonderful month. Let me know down in the comments down below if you have a video. I'd love to go see your wrap-ups as well. Or if you just want to let me know what your favorite book you read during middle grade March was. I'd love to chat about it and talk about it. And maybe it's more for my TBR, as if I don't have enough on my TBR already. I just the other day took my little girl and my husband, we went for the first time to the library in our area for her to check out books. We had been once before for like toddler time before all this happened in our world. But it's opened back up and I thought, well, let's go take her to check out books for the first time. And so I ended up getting 4 more middle grades for me to check out, and she picked out, she was so cute. She was like walking on shelves and she would pick one and be like, this one. And of course she can't read, so she's just like looking at the spines, but yeah, it was really sweet. So yeah, so we'll see how that goes. I haven't checked out a book from a library in like probably since I was in college, which was a while ago. But yeah, I really like to own books that I read. It's kind of like my own personal like memory system. I do use Goodreads, but I like to have physical books. But yeah, I have tons and tons and tons, and I need to read them. But sometimes you just want to check out something random, and it's good to use the library for that. So I'm excited to start doing that again. Yeah. Oh, and I didn't read a book in the 80s, but I did. Let me see if I can show you. I did wear my Made in the 80s t-shirt today. So let me see if I can take a step back. Yeah, so I did wear my Made in the 80s t-shirt today. So yeah, so for me that's gonna count because the book selection in the 80s and the books I had on my shelf, I wasn't feeling it, and I don't want to force myself to read something I didn't want to read, so I wore my shirt. There you go. Yeah, so anyway, I hope everyone had a lovely March and a lovely middle grade March, and I hope that your reading in April is going well so far. I've finished 1 book and then I logged another picture book, so I'm at 2, which is good. We'll see how it goes. My daughter has decided she's too big for naps now. She's 2 and she's decided she doesn't need those anymore. So yeah, so we'll see how I get on. But I'm positive. I'm feeling good about April. I have a busy month coming, but again, we'll see. So anyway, I'll stop rambling. Thanks for being here with me today. Farewell for now. Bye-bye.